The world is small. The world is small. That is a phrase that we probably have all heard of. And this phrase is used to encourage us to build relationships. If we come across people, to make sure that we present ourselves well, because the world is so small that we'll probably bump into these people and we might need to call in a favor or two from those people. This is helpful in helping us build solid relationships, solid friendships that will help us in the future. But there's a problem also with this way of thinking. The problem with this way of thinking is that it forces us to believe that opportunities are limited. It forces us to believe that the best ideas in life have been taken. It sometimes forces us to believe that all the customers are taken, forces us that there's no space for us to penetrate the market. And that can be quite stressful, especially if you are behind because of age. Those that are older than you have done it, they broke into market and they're already making it, and you're thinking, oh my God, what about me? I'm late, the customers are taken, the world is small. But the opposite is true. The best, in my view, is yet to come. We should not allow this phrase, the world is small, to run us or rule us, because the world is in fact big. In a space of bottled water market, there is a serious contestation for customers. There are guys who went ahead of others, like Bonaqua and all of those, let me say Coca-Cola rather, with all list of their products. But we also see young players or new entrants into the market, breaking into the market, and of course increasing their worth or company net worth, if I can call it that. And we see bottled water like Alkaline water producers that have come into the space, and they're already claiming a share of the market. They're already taking other people's lunch. And this shows us that there's enough space. And of course, there's other cheaper products like this ones, some other smaller brands than this ones. But imagine if this guy said to themselves, there is no space, Coca-Cola has taken everything, we cannot succeed, and therefore we closing shop, we cannot win. And that is the approach that one can have if you can think that the world is small. But the world is not small. The world is big enough for us to make it. The customers are there. Everybody has space. And dare I say, there is no company that can serve the whole world. It's literally impossible to do that. And by virtue of that, the space is there. In South African market, there's been a dominant 4 banks, or should I call them 5 banks: Capitec, Nedbank, FNB, Standard Bank, and Absa. Let me say 5 of the banks, and there's other banks, of course, Steba Bank. I can go on and on and on and on, and list all those companies that are into banking. But a company that are celebrating, I think, over 1 million customers, called Time Bank. Time Bank came into this highly contested market, and they came and they now have over 1 million customers. I think that's probably sitting at 2 or 3, if not 5. I'm not sure. Last time I checked it, which is about 4 or 5 or 8 months back, they were celebrating reaching over 1 million customers. The figure might have grown significantly. But imagine if this guy said to themselves, guys, there's no space, all the customers are taken, Time Bank could not have been here. And I can go on and on and on and on and on. We can look at companies like Rain that came into a highly contested space, providing data services or contracts, whatever they're doing, but providing that service. And we see they're making a lot of money, and they've got lots and lots of customers. And this shows us that the world is big. In fact, dare I say, South Africa is big enough, because I think taking the world, it's really taking a bit far. I'm talking now about South African market is so big that even in the insurance space, new players can still come, even in space of banking, even in space of bottled water, a lot of new players can come, and there's enough space for all of us to succeed. So don't be discouraged and think because of your age and think because some other guys have won before you they got qualified first, they are already doing it, and you think that there's not enough space. There's enough space. I mean, you look at the latest genre, Amapiano, and you can see that there's just a lot of space for everyone to succeed. Imagine if these guys thought to themselves, there's enough music, we can't kind of come up with another genre who's going to buy our music with this new style, but they came through and they took other customers. And there's everybody has customers, jazz, whatever you call, rap music, house music, everybody has customers. There's a lot of people in South Africa and in the world that are ready to buy your product. All you need to do is just put your product out there, is just believe that the space is big enough. Don't get locked into this, the world is small. Of course, nature relationship, take the good out of it, but don't make it your guide. And as a parting shot, I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and we're talking about this concept of the world being big enough for every one of us to succeed. And he was saying that we worry too much about a lot of things, and all we need to do is to put ourselves out there, and the customers will show up. Popular, as the popular saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. He was making an example of if you were a bus driver and you wanted to have a load, or rather have enough people to fill up your bus and drive to a location, and of course collect some bus fare. He was saying to me that the world is so big enough and people really want a service. And he was saying to me that all you need to do is to park your bus there with a sign that we are moving people from point A to B, maybe from village to the town, and just wait there. And he was saying that people will come into the bus when the bus is now full and all the seats are taken, and the bus is ready to move. People will not spend a lot of time asking questions about you as a driver, wanting to check if you have a license to drive them, checking if your license is renewed and is in good standing. They won't spend a lot of time. They won't even care about whether or not you are qualified to drive people, a public transport and operate a public transport business as a person driving the bus. People will be concerned, or your passengers will be concerned about getting from point A to point B. And they, at that time, their main concern is that the bus must start moving. So in the same breath, all we need to do is to put our service out there and be ready to serve. And we need not worry about a lot of things, about whether we are qualified enough or we need this and that. We need to put our service out there, and when the customer shows up, all they care about is that can we deliver that value at that time. They sometimes forget about how our logos look. They forget about what we tend to do, but they focus on us delivering the service at that time. So go out and deliver the service, and remember that the world is big enough for all of us, and without exception, all of us to thrive.